Do you know what is the ideal job for you? Can you make money out of what you enjoy? Or do you have to sacrifice your interests and passions in order to have a respectable career? These are the questions that bothered me a lot when I decided not to pursue a tech career in Silicon Valley. And if you ever felt like it was impossible to find the right job for you, then you would be interested in hearing my story. Hi everyone, my name is Maya and today I'm going to share with you a story about how I lost myself on a path trying to discover my dream job, and then how I stumbled across a career that I never even knew existed. I live in the center of Silicon Valley in Mountain View, California. One of the best places in this city is, no, not Google's headquarters, as many people might think, but a local bookstore in downtown. And my story starts here on Castor Street at a bookstore named Books Inc. One day I enter this bookshop with no particular intention. I'm just walking from shelf to shelf, admiring new book covers and flipping through the pages. When I'm here, I don't have to think about job searching or racing endlessly towards success. At 35 years old and with a family, I'm still struggling to choose the right career for me. Ironically enough, I quit my job as a tech analyst right before moving to Silicon Valley. If you're wondering why on earth I would do this, then make sure to watch my previous video. So I'm here in a bookstore enjoying the atmosphere while at the same time trying to resist the urge to buy yet another book. I love reading non-fiction. Unfortunately, as far as I know, reading is not considered a job. Otherwise, I would have been set for life. I had been reading a lot of books, especially during my maternity leave. I was reading psychology books to better understand my emotions, neuroscience books to understand what's happening in my head, sociology books to understand what's happening in the world, and books on technology to understand where this world is going. And you know what? I have discovered that I love two types of books the most: the ones that explore the science behind human thought and the ones that talk about the future. On that day, as I reach out to grab a book that catches my eye, a question suddenly pops into my mind. It's almost as if a self-help book fell from the top shelf to the floor and called my name, hacking into my mind and posing the age-old question: what would you do if you didn't have to work? I don't push this thought away like usual. I let it sink in. Really, what would I do if I didn't have to work? Would I just stay at home and read books? Or is there something else I would really enjoy doing? I wouldn't lie and say that I found the answer right then and there. I didn't. But the question itself got stuck in my head. So I started asking myself repeatedly, is the activity I'm doing right now something that I would enjoy doing every day as a part of my job duties? This is far more meaningful than simply wondering about the title or position that would fit me best. So I decided to focus on what activities truly bring me satisfaction and contentment. I experimented a lot. I tried different things. I started a book club, made presentations on non-fiction books. I even made videos about books. I became certified in instructional design and practiced designing online classes based on a book. And I also took an online course for YouTubers and started my first YouTube channel about non-fiction books. It's in Russian, so check it out if you dare. While I was experimenting with all of that, I was also busy with my personal life too. Our second child was born. I was juggling parenthood and everyday chaos, while at the same time taking small steps toward a big yet unknown destination. Sometimes they were very small steps, like reading a couple of pages a day, but every bit counts. At least that's what I told myself on good days. On bad days, however, my self-talk was less motivational. It was on those days when I avoided socializing with people. I especially avoided parties and gatherings where the first thing people asked was, "What do you do?" At some point, I felt completely defeated. I was overwhelmed by the thought that I had failed to achieve my life goals. I felt there was no hope of ever finding a meaningful career. My internal critic kept insisting, just go for some regular job and quit procrastinating. Sound familiar? I also asked myself, if I should have spent more time researching jobs and prepping for interviews rather than reading books. To keep away that annoying inner critic and to get back into a more positive state of mind, I often go outside, turn on a good book in my headphones and start walking. Some sunshine and fresh air always helps to bring me back to a positive perspective. So, on one sunny day, I am walking around downtown Mountain View and I've got an audiobook playing in my ears. It is called Imaginable: How to See the Future Coming and Feel Ready for Anything, written by the brilliant author Jane McGonigal. I told you that I love books about the future and books explaining human thinking patterns. And this book is a perfect combination of those two things. So I'm listening to its opening chapters while I'm walking and I'm getting excited. Jane is talking about how previously unimaginable and unthinkable events are now today's reality. She asks, can we be better prepared for the future as it unfolds? I'm hooked. I want to know if it's even possible to imagine the unimaginable and to think the unthinkable. How can you train your mind to do that? As I listen further, I'm getting sold on the idea that it is in fact possible, with the right tools and with the right strategies to deal with the uncertainty. As I'm walking, her words in my headphones are resonating with me, and I'm getting more and more excited. It's a familiar feeling, as if I'm falling in love with a book. I know, it sounds too strong, but if it is a really good book, my brain is overflowing with dopamine for each thrilling idea and unique insight. This book is so good, I should make a whole video about it. But for now, I will tell you just about the most important insight for me personally, and it is about a job that I never even knew existed. Jane McGonigal is a futurist. She works at the Institute for the Future. I couldn't believe that such an institute exists, and I got even more excited when I discovered that the Institute for the Future is located here in Silicon Valley, a mere 15 minutes away from my home. I also learned about the whole field of futures studies. It's like my two favorite topics are merging together, literally. The future and the thinking. Futures thinking. It is a whole concept. It's like a light switch turned on in my head. If it is truly what it sounds like, then I have discovered my dream job. It was one of those moments when I realized that all the decisions, steps and discoveries over the last couple of years were not a waste of time. They were necessary experiences to get me ready for this opportunity. Finally, I found something exciting that felt both promising and meaningful. Not to mention it's an actual job. Being a futurist. I know, it sounds a little weird. I was skeptical too. I didn't know anyone who was a futurist. It seemed like something out of science fiction, almost magical in some way. But I started researching everything I could about it and the field of futures studies. And you know what? It is a real academic subject with lots of research and studies. There are futures studies, degrees, books and conferences dedicated to the field. It has its own established frameworks and practices, and it has become an increasingly popular field of study. I am so excited! But here is the thing. There is not a lot of information about it in a popular sense yet. By the way, if you know of any YouTube channels about future studies, share them with me. Leave a comment down below, I wanna check them out too. I think it's too bad that not many people know about futures thinking, and as an aspiring futurist myself, I wanna change that. I wanna spread the word. I wanna make future studies more accessible and understandable to the general public. That's why I decided to document my journey of becoming a futurist. I believe that in today's world, everyone could use the power of foresight and futures thinking. Not only governments and businesses, but individuals too. If you're interested in the future, push the like button, subscribe, and let's explore the world of futurism together.